If you're thinking about moving to Melbourne, Florida, here on the Space Coast, this is the local guide you've been looking for.
I moved here 11 years ago and absolutely fell in love. There's something here for literally every price point and lifestyle.
In this video, we're gonna talk about how much this area has grown and what day-to-day life actually looks like. We're going to explore downtown Melbourne, downtown Gallie, Florida Tech, plus the two big master planned areas people always ask about, Viera and Suntree. I'm in these neighborhoods all the time, and my goal is to help you figure out which part of Melbourne actually fits you. Let's jump in.
Melbourne today is not the same town it was in the early 2000s. With the population around 90,000, it's been growing steadily over the last couple decades, and the growth, in my opinion, has been in a positive direction. More restaurants, bars, parks, neighborhoods, etc. A lot of the growth comes from aerospace, defense, tech, healthcare, and honestly, people realizing,
wait, I can live by the beach, work remotely, and still be in one of the most affordable markets in Florida?
Melbourne sits in the central southern part of Brevard County. Depending on where you live, you can be as close as 5 minutes to the beach or as far as a half hour. The causeways that will take you to the beach are Melbourne, Gallie, and Pineda. As soon as you cross the bridge, you'll be in one of these 4 beach towns: Satellite Beach, Indian Harbor Beach, India Atlantic, and Melbourne Beach. Melbourne is about an hour from Orlando, and although there is an awesome little airport right here, you'll be flying in and out of Orlando to most destinations. You wouldn't think it at first, but Melbourne is low-key a tech and aerospace hub. You've got major employers like L3Harris headquartered here, Northrop Grumman, Embraer Aircrafts, Collins Aerospace, Health First, and other medical campuses, and then the whole Space Coast ecosystem tied to launches up the road at Cape Canaveral with names like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and NASA.
When you layer in a growing remote worker scene plus small businesses, you get a really interesting mix of young professionals, engineers, medical staff, growing families, surfers, etc., all living in the same town. And another reason people pay attention to Melbourne, affordability. Even with all the growth that's been occurring, Melbourne remains one of the most affordable markets in Florida. Now let's talk about downtown Melbourne. Downtown is centered on New Haven Ave.
Over the last decade plus, it's gone from pretty sleepy to a legit downtown district. You've got nicer spots like Ember and Oak and Crush 11. You've got nightlife at places like Main Street, County Line, and Meg O'Malley's. You've got incredible views from the Landing Rooftop Bar. You've got coffee and breakfast spots, boutiques, salons, galleries, and a fun mix of historic buildings alongside of renovated spaces. And downtown is lively. There are frequent farmers markets, concerts, and events where they'll block off the road and turn it into a full block party. The St. Paddy's Day Parade is probably the biggest, and the city continues to invest in streetscaping, lighting, and parking, so it's only going to continue to improve.
Just north of downtown Melbourne, you've got another downtown area that a lot of people miss at first, the Gallie Arts District. Gallie used to be its own town before it merged into Melbourne, and it still feels unique.
You've got historic buildings, massive oak trees, murals everywhere, and this artsy, creative energy right on the Indian River Lagoon. Over the past several years, a lot of the older buildings have slowly been transformed into restaurants, bars, studios, and shops. It's in that ongoing glow-up phase. Some of the local spots around here are Squid Lips, which is a casual spot right on the river. It's got live music, tropical drinks, great for sunsets.
Pineapples is another big one, with a rooftop bar, a stage for live music, and river views. You've also got the Intracoastal Brewery, which is a vibe, pet-friendly, live music, outdoor seating, and a killer rotating beer list.
You've got Dolly's Wine Bar, which is a super trendy spot you have to see. There's Nomads and the Salty Fox, and keep it a secret, but there's 2 speakeasies here that have the best drinks in the county. On top of that, you'll see farmers markets, art walks, brew fests, and street events all the time.
So if downtown Melbourne is your polished restaurant and bar district, Gallie is the artsy creative cousin. Murals, live music, craft brew, and events all the time.
Just south of downtown Melbourne is Florida Tech. This is where I went to school, and much like the rest of the county, it's been growing steadily.
Now, when people say Melbourne, they're often lumping together 3 different vibes: Core Melbourne, Suntree, and Viera. Let's break it down.
Core Melbourne is most of what is actually Melbourne. Think of older neighborhoods around downtown along US 1 and west towards I-95. You also have West Melbourne, which is technically its own municipality, but it feels very similar day to day. Some parts of Core Melbourne and West Melbourne have really unique neighborhoods with larger lots, mature trees, and tons of character. Overall, this area is a mix of old Florida and more standard suburbs, and it's generally more affordable than the newer master planned areas north of here. Now, when you head north, you'll roll into Suntree. Suntree is a large, established master planned community. It's technically unincorporated, but it uses a Melbourne mailing address, so most people just think of it as part of Melbourne, even though it really does feel like its own little town. Suntree has golf course neighborhoods, lakes, and lots of walking and biking paths.
It has mature landscaping, big shaded trees, and lots of HOA neighborhoods with community pools, tennis courts, etc.
There's also a central commercial area around Suntree Boulevard with grocery stores, restaurants, and day-to-day services.
Suntree is a well-established master plan community centered around Suntree Country Club, widely considered the best golf course in the county.
Most of the homes were built from the 1980s through the early 2000s, so it feels more established than Viera. The trees are taller, the neighborhoods feel more grown in, and you're close to both Viera's amenities and the beach. Go a little further north and you'll hit Viera.
Viera is one of the fastest growing areas in the county, and it's built around convenience and amenities. I mean, look, there's 10-foot sidewalks. You can take your golf cart literally anywhere that you want to go.
You'll see tons of newer construction and ongoing building. You've got the Avenue Viera outdoor mall, plus Target, Costco, a movie theater, and a long list of restaurants that are continuing to grow every year. You'll also see golf courses, pickleball courts, playgrounds, dog parks, and community pools all over the place. Viera is also known for some of the highest ranking schools in the county, which we'll talk about next. The community was designed with wide sidewalks, and you'll see golf carts everywhere, which is honestly pretty fun and very Florida. Viera is for you if you want newer homes, organized neighborhoods, everything 5 to 10 minutes away, and you're okay paying a little bit more for that lifestyle. Okay, let's hit schools because this is a huge one for families. Melbourne is in Brevard Public Schools, and overall the district has a strong reputation locally. In Melbourne itself, you'll hear certain schools come up often. Melbourne High School serves much of the core Melbourne area, and it's generally considered solid academically, especially in reading. On the north side of Melbourne, West Shore is a magnet school and an absolute standout. It's one of those schools that people move here for, and getting in can be competitive because it's not just based on your address. Up in Suntree and Viera, the elementary schools are a major reason families buy there. These zones tend to be consistently high performing, and it becomes a big part of the why behind the higher price point in those areas. If schools are a top priority, your exact address matters. Zoning can change, so always double check the current school map for any address that you're serious about. I'll leave the official school locator link in the description.
So what's life here actually like? As far as beach and surf, from Melbourne, you're usually about 10 to 20 minutes.
People head over the causeways to the beaches of India Atlantic, Melbourne Beach, Indian Harbor Beach, and Satellite Beach for surfing, fishing, running, or just sunrise coffee walks. On the riverside, you've got parks like Ballard Park, Front Street Park, plus launches and piers for kayaking, paddleboarding, and boating. Inland, you've got Wickham Park, which is huge. It has trails, campgrounds, disc golf, dog areas, and events all throughout the year. Up north in Viera and Suntree, you've got the Avenue, Brevard Zoo, sports complexes, and a steady rotation of 5Ks, tournaments, and community events. And for nightlife and events, people bounce between downtown Melbourne and downtown Gallie. And then there are the rocket launches. You'll hear someone casually say, "Oh yeah, there's a launch tonight at 7. You can literally step outside, head to the river or the beach, and watch a rocket go to space. That never gets old. All right, let's talk about pricing so you have a frame of reference. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna date this video. These numbers move, but as of 2026, here's what I'm seeing. Recently sold single family homes, Melbourne, our median is $380,000 for a sales price. Suntree and Viera East, you're at $415,000. Viera West, $680,000. So this is single family homes, but across all of these areas, you can still find super affordable condos and townhomes in the $200,000 to $300,000 price range. And of course, there are the standouts in every area, the super extra large lots, the brand new constructions, the right on the water properties that'll go well north of $1 million no matter where you are.
So if you tell me your budget and lifestyle, I can usually narrow this down quickly to a handful of neighborhoods that actually make sense. So is Melbourne a good fit? If you want responsible growth without losing that local feel, this might be your spot.
You've got downtowns that are actually fun, you've got nightlife and events, you've got real tech and aerospace careers nearby, and you've got options, older character neighborhoods, Suntree, Viera, and everything in between, all while being close to great schools, the beach, and the river, and rocket launches.
So if you're considering a move to the area and you want help figuring out which part of Melbourne fits you best, core Melbourne, Gallie, Viera, or Suntree, or even beachside, hit me up. All my contact info is in the description. Seriously, text, call, email, drop a comment. And if you have any questions, I help people relocate here all the time, and I'd be happy to help you make a smart move.
I'll see you in the next video.